I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers.
Well, if there's another thing, it's rotating.
Last night's 60-minute story on UFO sightings by U.S. Navy pilots is causing a big reaction today.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
My hope is that we will use the U.S. intelligence community to solve this mystery once and for all, to find out where are they coming from, who's behind them, what is the agenda. We have the means and the capability to do that if we set our minds to it as a nation.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
The American public has a right to learn about technologies of unknown origins, non-human intelligence, and unexplainable phenomena.
We're going to uncover the cover-up, and I hope this is just the beginning of many more hearings and more people coming forward about this.
Have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself of non-human origin craft?
Yes, I personally interviewed those individuals.
The best science, isn't it, is when you go against the grain.
Yeah. Eventually, the anomalies and the things that don't fit the picture add up to the point where you can't ignore it anymore. And so that's what has just recently happened. We're watching a Kuhnian moment.
This is huge, isn't it? We're at a huge moment in human history right now.
It's essential we keep working on our proposal to create an independent presidentially appointed review board that can oversee UAP classified records and create a system for releasing them where appropriate to the public.
UFOs, unidentified flying objects, are real. Bill, I think we're beyond that already. The government has already stated for the record that they're real. I'm not telling you that. The United States government is telling you that.
Up first, UAP Disclosure Fund announced. Starting off the month of June, the announcement of the UAP Disclosure Fund was made on Twitter by The Good Trouble Show with Matt Ford, who had this to say. I'm pleased to publicly announce my position as Director of Strategy for the UAP Disclosure Fund. It is my distinct pleasure to be a member of our all-star team. And that includes Mr. Lou Elizondo, who's the Board of Directors, Dr. Gary P. Nolan, Board of Directors, Colonel Carl Nell, Board of Directors, Mr. Christopher Mellon, Advisory Board, Mr. Kirk McConnell, Advisory Board, Mr. Juan Fung, Executive Director, Ms. Leslie Duckworth, Chief Financial Officer. The UAP Disclosure Fund is a nonpartisan political nonprofit that advocates for greater government transparency regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena. We work to support new UAP legislation, provide legal representation for whistleblowers, promote scientific research, and raise public awareness to better address the UAP issue. Now is the time for you to take action. Let the U.S. senators who corresponded the UAP Disclosure Act of 2024 know that you support including a new version of the UAP amendment in the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act. It's simple to make your voice heard. Visit our website, sign the petition, and join us in our mission for greater government transparency on UAP. The website is https://uapdisclosurefund.org.
Looking at that website, we can see their mission statement and the faces of that all-star team that Lou mentioned in his tweet. They also have a petition that you can sign aimed, quote, to let the U.S. senators who co-sponsored the UAP Disclosure Act of 2024 know that you support including a new version of the UAP amendment in the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, end quote. So make sure that you sign up for that so that you can support these guys.
I don't see how people can still deny that this is a reality anymore, with all the people that have come out, with everything that everybody is saying, sure, it's just circumstantial evidence at this point, because all the firsthand witnesses are, still being held up in, their non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah, those NDAs are really impeding this whole process.
Yeah, but, to me, this is the greatest question that has ever faced humanity, and yeah, I want disclosure, I want the truth to come out for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
And I'm really, really excited about the UAP Disclosure Fund. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all the people that are involved in this organization, I mean, it just goes to show that it's something worth paying attention to. And I mean, man, Gary Nolan is a busy dude. I mean, he's doing all that work at Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the Soul Foundation.
Yep.
Now he's involved in this project.
Yep.
I'm just really excited for him, and I hope he's getting enough sleep because he seems to be spreading himself all over the place. But I commend him for his efforts because it just goes to show how much data there is in this area, and that there are serious people willing to collect and study it and fund these kinds of projects and support whistleblowers and legislation and all the other important things that go along with this.
Right.
This week, Australian journalist Ross Coulthard gave the keynote speech at a conference held by the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, or SCU, during which he gave his opinion on how the UAP secret started and why it's still sticking around today. He also shares his thoughts on what the American public could and should be doing about it. Ross is not known for mincing words, and he certainly didn't hold back on telling us how he really feels. It's a doozy of a message, and you don't want to miss what he has to say, so let's check that out now.
The best way of keeping a secret is to pretend that there isn't one. And that's what I suspect unelected officials chose to do with what we will call, euphemistically, the program. They very deviously convinced opinion leaders in politics and the media and their shills on social media for years that there is no secret, that everyone's come forward and deluded themselves, or that they're lying, that they've dreamt up a cock and bull story about recovered alien technology, and for reasons best known to themselves, they're destroying their reputations by coming up and promoting a wacky conspiracy theory. Believe me, this is not good for your career. But clearly, the insiders advocating disclosure know something. They're not legally allowed to tell us about it. And even if they want to, they can't. And what most of the commentators also fail to understand is that it's not the general public that has to be convinced. The American public, frankly, at the moment, is mostly irrelevant in this ongoing debate, except for the fact that you all vote. What matters most right now is that members of key oversight committees in Congress and the President and his National Security Committee wake up to the fact that this is real. It's a major public interest issue of concern, and they start doing the job that we entrust them to do. That's the only forum where the full story of the program can legally be investigated and exposed. And that is starting to happen. As we all know, there's a new attempt that's just come out in the last day for a new UAP disclosure bill. It's so important. So much of the evidence that would finally make Congress finally wake up to what's been going on is highly classified. It can't be discussed publicly by those who've been read into it. It's a very, very clever catch-22. And to me, nothing could transform America more or humanity more than the realization that we are not alone. You know, we'd perhaps forget our differences in Ukraine or North Korea or China or Russia and think of ourselves as humans. Imagine what science could achieve, what humanity could achieve if we could deploy the minds of everybody in this room and anybody in the world to achieve technological breakthroughs. My understanding is that what we're doing with this technology, with this retrieved technology, is we're essentially piggybacking on it. We're not reverse engineering it. We're retrofitting it in a way that allows us to use it. I won't go any further than that. I know a lot about it. And by the way, if anybody ever did decide to push me under a bus, believe me, every name of every person that I've been told, I haven't been able to verify it, so I can't publish it. Everything I know will be published by multiple people who I've sent copies of what I have all around the world. I'm mindful of the fact that I do know people have been murdered. And that's a big call, I know. People have been murdered to protect the secret. And so coming back to answer your question, this is the biggest secret in human history. And I don't give a toot whether people call me a conspiracy theorist. On a level of probability, I'm pretty bloody sure it's true. And what they're doing is they're misusing the laws of your country to hinder what is a constitutional right by Congress to oversight every arm of government. Now, if Americans don't care about that, then you can go another 60 years in ignorance.
No, thank you.
It's up to you. It's as simple as that. This is an issue that goes to the absolute heart of what you've all been told, your country is great. That's a load of steaming bullshit right now. You're failing. And you're failing because there's this monstrous secret that's being perpetuated. Trillions of dollars, I suspect, have been diverted from your budgets. You can't even fix your roads.
Damn.
What the hell? Why don't you vote these pricks out and get people in who are going to make a change?
So dang, Ross, tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back. Don't be shy about it. He straight up called us out, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Sheesh. I thought it was really interesting that he gave another one of those, if I show up dead, this is what's going to happen kind of statements, just like Lou Elizondo recently made. And even Dr. Stephen Greer has made that same statement in the past, where he's like, if I show up dead, I've already got a plan that all my stuff's going to be released. And it's just so crazy that...
The same thing with Bob Lazar.
Yeah. I just think it's wild that people have to throw that out there that yo, if I show up not alive anymore,
right.
It wasn't me, first of all. And second of all, all the stuff that I've been holding back on is going to be thrown out there for the wolves. So
it's insurance.
Be prepared.
It's insurance,
Of course.
Yeah,
and I just think it's wild that they feel that they need that insurance.
I think it's wild that people have been murdered to keep this secret, secret.
Yeah. There's definitely
That's what I think is wild. It's to me, it's shitty that they have to do that in the first place, right?
Of course. Yeah.
That sucks. Why can't we just be told the truth, and all these people, get let off the hook, so to speak.